Hey everyone, it's Steph. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a Thanksgiving week reading vlog. So for the entire week, I'm just going to talk you through what I'm reading and share my thoughts, and I'm excited to film this. I don't know if I've done a week-long reading vlog before. In fact, I don't think I have. I'm really excited to film this vlog with you this week. I hope that you who are celebrating Thanksgiving have a very happy Thanksgiving. So let's get started. Hey everyone, it's Monday of Thanksgiving week, and as part of this Thanksgiving vlog, I just thought I would kind of tell you where I'm at right now. Last night, Sunday night, I finished reading Michelle Gripe's newest book. It's coming out, I believe, on New Year's Day. It has some really great characters. I really enjoyed the development of those two. I felt like it lagged just a teensy bit, but I thought the way the story played out was really good, and I really enjoyed the two characters and the growth that they had individually as well as in their romance. So definitely worth reading. Very much enjoyed it. That was the first book I read by that author, so I'm gonna check out more of hers soon. So now I am reading another romance. This is part of a Regency romance fairy tale retelling. It's very creatively done. The first one is Beauty and the Baron by Joanna Barker. I read this one a while ago. I love her writing, so I was really glad to read that. I'm on to book number 2. This is by a different author, Sally Britton, who I've talked about in my October wrap-up. So I picked up this book. It's called The Captain and Miss Winter. Oh dear. It was really great. I'm really enjoying it. A retelling of Snow White. It's based off of the Grimm fairy tale, which is Snow White and Red Rose, or Rose Red. I think it's Rose Red. So the main female character is Scarlet. She's named after Rose Red, and her sister, named after Snow White, is called Blanche. When I initially read Blanche, all I could think of was Golden Girls Blanche, but this is a totally different personality. They are in this cottage in the woods. It was the only thing that their father could afford based off of some sort of reduced circumstances. We know that these girls were raised in society, and then something happened during the Napoleonic War, somehow lost their fortune. We're not really sure what quite happened yet. And this is a novella, so I know it's not going to take as long to read as a regular book. It's still really interesting, so I'm not really sure how this is all going to play out yet, but I like the characters, I like the setup, and I like their relationships, so I'm interested to see kind of where this goes. We'll see how many books I can read during this Thanksgiving week. Chewbacca is clearly very, very interested in this vlog. Right, buddy? Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, second day of the vlog, and I am just going to kind of recap things. The novella I finished last night by Sally Britton. This was a really interesting kind of Regency adaptation of Snow White. There was a nice sweet little surprise at the end. Thought it was a creative adaptation of Snow White. Really interesting way of taking the classic story and fitting it into the Regency society and expectations of the day. I felt that it worked out really well. I also finished another book last night. I just kind of picked it up to read before bed, and I ended up finishing it. I stayed up a little later than I should have reading it, but it was so good I just couldn't put it down. Your Blue Flame by Jen Fulwiler. It talks about your passions and embracing who you are and things that you love in the midst of everyday life. So I really, really enjoyed this. I'm going to talk a little bit more later because I have a meeting coming up in a few minutes. I just want to share my initial thoughts with you, and then I will give you more in-depth feedback about Blue Flame because it was so, so good and definitely worth spending a few minutes talking about. Alright, so I will clue with you guys. It's Tuesday morning, so maybe I will clue with you guys a little bit later this afternoon or this evening, and we'll go from there. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm getting ready for dinner. It's Taco Tuesday. I've got vegan burger patties I'm going to fry up, and then we're going to put them in quesadillas and have a fiesta for Taco Tuesday. So I've started listening to North and South on audio. I'm about 4 hours into the 18-hour audiobook. My library unfortunately didn't have that audiobook, so I ended up going on YouTube, finding it in the public domain. So far we've got Margaret. She knows that her father has, for some reason, not been able to continue with his life as a vicar. We don't know what the deal is, so he's uprooted his wife and his daughter to this new town where nobody knows them. Her father has made a new acquaintance in this new town. He has visited the family a couple times. He's coming over for a second time. Margaret kind of hasn't really acknowledged him or had any kind of connection with him. Mr. Thornton seems to be a little smitten, but not really saying he's smitten, just kind of the understated, like, oh, I'm in her presence. Oh my. Kind of like a Darcy with Elizabeth, where he's not acknowledging his feelings for her, but it seems like they're there. So we will see what comes of this. That's where we're at. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I cook dinner. Oh, I also finished Jennifer Wilder's Your Blue Flame last night. It was all about following your passion, and whether you're a mom or whether you're in a job that you like or a job that you don't like, how you can make time and space, even if it's just for a little bit of time a day or a week, to do stuff that just like fuels you and inspires you and just fills you up with happy, wonderful, smushy, warm feelings. So I really, really enjoyed it. I cannot recommend it enough for anybody, man or woman, parent, non-parent, married or single, no age requirement. It just feels like it's so relevant in today's society when we're so fixated on just success or climbing the corporate ladder or just anything where like money determines our value. And this is completely taking money out of the equation and saying what makes you feel happy and inspired. It brings light into your day. So good. Definitely recommend for anybody if you're even remotely interested. It's only like 200 pages. It's not a long book. And it's so down to earth. She's so realistic. When you're reading, it just feels like you're having a conversation with her. And lots of great wisdom, lots of great things to share. Definitely check that out if you're interested. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook some more, cook some dinner, eat some tacos, and I will check with you guys later. Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. This is the third day of the reading vlog. I listened to a little bit more of North and South, so I want to say I'm like 4.5 hours into the audiobook. It's like 18 hours total, so I know I'm like just barely making a dent in the overall story, but I'm starting to get into the story a little bit more. I feel like now that it's starting to pick up a little bit of the pace. I did find it interesting that in the beginning of the audiobook, before they got started with the narration of the story, they said that North and South was originally written in a serialized format, so one chapter per time. And apparently this is something like the author ended up modifying the pacing of her story in order to meet the criteria of the publishers. I also started reading a new ebook. This is called Miracle Creek Christmas. This is part of the proper romance genre, which I love. It came out, I believe, in October of 2020. I was interested mildly in this story, and then I heard that there is an art teacher in it, and I was like, hey, represent the arts, let me read this. So this has been kind of up on my priority list. I'm really enjoying the story so far. I also really like both our characters. We start off with the guy's perspective. He is a firefighter. We know he has severe burns and scarring on his body from the fire, but he ended up being claimed a local hero in this small town he's at. He's definitely suffering from some PTSD, but kind of slowly resuming some semblance of normalcy. So he keeps his hoodie up a lot to hide some of the scarring on his face, or he'll keep it in shadow so somebody can't see them. We haven't seen these two characters meet yet, but I'm excited to see that happen. There was one really good quote just from the beginning that I read, and I wanted to share with you because it got me in the feels. So he's having a conversation with his sister, who also has the same name as me, which doesn't happen that much in fiction. I don't see a lot of Stephs or Stephanies. Or if I do, they have a different abbreviation or shortening of their name that I don't use, like in Truly Devious. There's Stephanie as the main character, but she's called Stevie, which is not what I've ever been called. So I don't connect as much with that name, but there's a Steph in this, and it's like, yay! Okay, moving on. She says to her brother, who's the main character of the story, his name is Mark, she says, forget your ex, she's not worth a fraction of you. And he says, I bet you say that to all the burn victims. And she says, only the heroic ones. And he says, remembering his time in the burn unit, that's all of them. Whew, just gets you in the feels, and it reminds you that people are brave and strong warriors for whatever they're dealing with, whether it's battling cancer or battling burns or injuries or chronic illness or whatever they got going on. They are strong just to keep getting up every day and dealing with what they got going on. So it just got me in the feels, and I wanted to share with you. So that's where I'm at. Haven't read too much more. I have some stuff to do around the house, get ready for tomorrow. We're not hosting family, but we just want to tidy up a bit to enjoy, you know, the holiday tomorrow. So I hope that you're doing well, and I will check in with you guys later. So checking in with you guys real quick before I wrap up this Wednesday night. I have done a lot around the house today, so I have been listening to a lot of my audiobook. I am now about 10 hours into the 18-hour audiobook. There is some drama with Mr. Thornton. People are striking. Thornton was like starting to be attacked. Margaret stepped in the way, and she got hit in the head with a rock. She is like I would do that for anybody, dude. He's like, but I love you. Will you marry me? And she's like, and no. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. I'm definitely seeing the correlation between this and Pride and Prejudice a little bit. This was written, I think, in 1855. And so we'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of things up in the air. But we still got 8 hours to figure it out. I haven't read any more of Miracle Creek Christmas. I might read a teeny bit before bed. But I'm kind of tired. So we'll see. I do want to see what happens to those characters. Very quickly felt like I was invested in those characters and they had my interest. It's just whether or not I can keep my eyes open. So we'll see. That's it for Wednesday night. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I don't know what kind of reading we're going to get done. We're going to have a family Zoom, doing some virtual events with family we can't be with in person. So yeah, wishing you all a very happy Thanksgiving. And for all of you celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope that you feel that you were just finding things to be grateful for, even if this Thanksgiving looks a little bit different than years past. Hey everyone, it's Friday. This is day 5 of the reading vlog. So I did not film anything yesterday for Thanksgiving, so I'm just gonna give you guys an update. Been reading Miracle Creek Christmas. I did read a bit of that last night, and then my husband and I watched You've Got Mail, and it was so good. Then, let's see, I want to say I'm like 2/3 of the way through Miracle Creek Christmas, and it is so good. I am loving it. I am listening to North and South. I didn't really listen to it at all yesterday. I've been listening to it a little bit this morning. I have some online shopping to do for Black Friday, so I plan on listening to my audiobook and seeing how far I can get through that today. Alright, so I will chat with you guys later. Okay, so it is Friday night. I have finished shopping for the day for Black Friday sales. We watched Mando tonight, so got to see the newest episode, which was so good. And while I was doing my shopping, I finished my audiobook of North and South. Overall, feeling good about my reading for this week. I might read a little bit of my ebook tonight for Miracle Creek Christmas. Thoughts on North and South? I enjoyed it. It was not quite as much like Pride and Prejudice as I expected for the second half of the book. The build-up to the last scene was really twisty and turny, which kept the story interesting, kept it less predictable. And then the final scene was sweet. There wasn't as much lead up to that final confession of their feelings for one another, and the confession, so to speak, doesn't really happen. It's a very subtle way, which is fine. It just wasn't what I expected, and it kind of took away from the sweetness of the moment ever so slightly, but I'm still happy that this couple got together. I'm still happy that these two made it work. I'd love to know what happens right after the book ends and see how they can start their life together. I enjoyed the story. The story had a lot of twists and turns, and this poor girl, every family member she has and everyone she gets close to, except for Mr. Thornton, ends up getting sick and passing away practically, and just like, this is so sad. The last 25% of the book or so felt like Jane Eyre, where we have a new setting, characters that were kind of mentioned at the beginning of the book and now brought back, distance from the main male protagonist, a time duration passing of a significant value before they see each other again at the end of the book. Mr. Thornton doesn't go blind like Mr. Rochester does, but he wasn't hiding a wife in the attic like Mr. Rochester was, but we do see some other similarities. So overall, I enjoyed this, and I'm glad that I gave it a go. I'd really like to see the miniseries to compare a film adaptation versus what I listened to in the book. I put that on hold from the library tonight. We'll see when that can come in. That's my Friday night wrap up. I'm gonna finish up this vlog tomorrow, Saturday morning. Then that will be the end of my reading vlog for this week. Hey everyone, it's Saturday of Thanksgiving week. Thanks so much for sticking around for this vlog. I really enjoyed making this and just checking in with you throughout the week to tell you about what I'm reading. So I'm just gonna recap here. I finished Michelle Grape's book, The Thief of Blackfriar Lane. That one was really well done, had some great characters with some great backstories, and I enjoyed seeing that come together. We had the novella by Sally Britton. That was fun, a Regency fairy tale retelling. Then we had Jen Fulwiler's book, Your Blue Flame, and that was so good. Nonfiction book that just spoke the truth, and it was so good, and everybody should read this book. And then what did we do next? North and South. So I finished that audiobook last night. I enjoyed it. I'm interested to see the film adaptation and then compare the two. So if you're interested in a video about that, leave me a note in the comments and maybe we'll get to that another time. And then last but not least, I finished Miracle Creek Christmas today. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I was expecting this to be like a cutesy Hallmark movie, and that expectation was not false. It did have a Hallmark kind of feel to it, but there was a lot more depth heartwarming moments, but also really just heart-wrenching moments that were just like, it made you feel for the characters. This is a debut story by the author, so I definitely want to keep an eye on this author to see what else she publishes. Lately, as if you couldn't tell, I've not been reading a lot of contemporary setting romances, so I was excited to just fall in love with a contemporary book that just felt so good and so real, and I felt like a very honest and real portrayal to people who've gone through really tough situations in their life and who are learning to trust to be themselves around other people again. And it was a really well done story. It was believable, and the growth and transformation between the two was also just very heart-wrenching. It didn't feel super cliche. I really liked the dialogue. I really liked the male relationships between like father and son or friends, and it just felt very real and not like phony or fluffy or cutesy. It just felt like guy talk, and it just felt real and authentic. And I really liked the way the story was portrayed. I like the characters. I just really enjoyed this. 4.5 stars is when I'm rating this book. I did bump it up to 5 stars on Goodreads because you can't rate half-star ratings, and I just was totally worth it. It's been rated really well on Goodreads. It hasn't had a lot of ratings. It hasn't been out that long, so I wanted to include that in this blog and include my final thoughts in case you were interested in reading this book. So definitely something that I'm very glad that I read, and it's a proper romance. I love the proper romance genre, so I'm not shocked that I like this. I'm just shocked that I enjoyed it as much as I did. And it went from being like, oh, this is sweet, great, I want to read it, to like, wow, this is so good, I'm really glad I read it. So there's my my thoughts for the week. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope that you had a very happy Thanksgiving week, and I hope that you find some time to read something that just brings some sunshine to your day. And I will chat with you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.